Tropical storm warnings are in effect for the Texas and Mexico coastline. Hello, I'm Mike Naso with this evening update. This Friday evening on the tropics, we do have a potential tropical cyclone that has advisories being issued by the Hurricane Center because we need watches and warnings out because of the closeness to land. And since it's expected to become a tropical storm, they are issuing advisories. Even though it does not have a center, you can see it right there in the Bay of Campeche there in the western Gulf of Mexico. And this is potential tropical cyclone number 4. It's that system we were watching the other day that moved right on up over Central America and the Yucatan, and that motion should continue, bringing it into northern Mexico and perhaps southern Texas, and it is expected to become a tropical storm before landfall. Now here's the latest on potential tropical cyclone 4 as of 10 p.m. Central Time, which is 11 p.m. Eastern. Whatever center there is was at 21.8 north, 95.2 west, winds of 35 miles an hour, that's tropical depression strength, and the pressure 1,009 millibars, moving northwest at 14. Now, a few things. First of all, had this system just continued into Mexico, it'd be dead by now. But there clearly has been a northwest component, and that's keeping it over water longer and giving it a chance at becoming a tropical storm. Number 2, the recon plane was out there earlier on Friday and zigzagged all around and could not find a well-organized, low-level surface closed-off center. However, it's close, and since it has tropical depression winds and should become tropical storm, and we need watches and warnings out within that 24-hour time frame and 36-hour time frame, that's why they're issuing the advisories for this potential tropical cyclone. We do have a tropical storm warning from the Gulf Coast of Mexico, from Boca de Catan all the way up to the mouth of the Rio Grande, and then for South Texas, from the mouth of the Rio Grande north to Port Mansfield. So it does include areas there of Padre Island and areas near Brownsville and Matamoros, that region there of Texas, with the expectation that by tomorrow night, Saturday night, this thing should move ashore as a tropical storm, a minimum tropical storm. It's going to be minimal, but nevertheless still a tropical storm. By the way, the next name on the list is Danielle, and so this should become Danielle prior to landfall. Now here's the satellite imagery, and you can see whatever kind of naked hole she's trying to get would be in here, and it's not well organized at all, but there is still some thunderstorm blow up happening. The waters are warm, the wind shear is, it could be worse, could be better. Again, it's kind of struggling, but still, we'll see what happens overnight, because if this thunderstorm activity blows up and it helps tighten up a low-level center, it will become a tropical storm quickly. But thankfully, because it's going to move in, it won't have time to strengthen beyond just a minimal tropical storm. Here's the infrared satellite there, and you can see blowing up some nasty weather there. Definitely not a night to be out on the coastline anywhere there. Tampico is over here, Veracruz is down here, Matamoros is here, and then right where I circled in red right about here is the border in Brownsville. So again, landfall will probably be in Texas, where the center of the center crosses the coast. Did I say Texas? I mean Mexico. Landfall will probably be in Mexico, down here. But up in Texas, they are going to have some rainfall. But you know what? As long as it's not flooding, sometimes it could be beneficial. But if it falls heavy in downpours, then you could get flash flooding. So it's really a mixed bag. You want to definitely be on alert. The wind shear, as I mentioned, not terrible, but not great in the southern Bay of Campeche there. In contrast, very favorable out here in the central Atlantic, around the Caribbean, getting ready for anything that comes off Africa. We'll talk about that in a minute. But again, right now for our system, rainfall is the biggest threat. Anything from 4 to 6 inches is possible there, north of Brownsville, areas there of Padre Island, all the way up towards Corpus. You guys will get in on the rain. And again, this is for through Sunday. So again, this is the next couple of days, but as I mentioned, the center should make landfall in Mexico. So if this thing makes landfall in Mexico, by then it'll probably be a tropical storm. If this thing makes landfall in Mexico, it'll definitely be rainy on the north side. It's going to be kind of a ragged tropical storm moving ashore, and that's why we have the threat of heavy rainfall. So the key messages for this potential tropical cyclone: Number one, tropical storm conditions. They are expected across northeast Mexico and South Texas tomorrow on Saturday. By the time you see this update, you probably see it on Saturday. So today, tropical storm warning issued. And number two, rainfall from the disturbance may begin in eastern Mexico, northern Veracruz, areas there of Mexico throughout Saturday. Flash flooding, life-threatening mudslides, all possible. And heavy rain may also move to far south Texas through Saturday night. And you could have, as I mentioned before, flash urban and small stream flooding. Again, if it comes down, it could come down hard in these tropical downpours, so you want to watch that. There's the latest in Spanish for people down there in Mexico. Here's where we're at right now with the hurricane season. As we move now, August 20th, when this update's recorded, we're about 1 hour away from August 20th. And August 20th was always when Dr. William Gray, the late, great Dr. William Gray, there he is right there. That was me on the left and meteorologist Zach Fradella on the right there. Back in 2005, that was, oh man, 3 months before Katrina. Dr. William Gray, great guy. He used to ring the bell on August 20th and say August 20th is the start of the action. And right now it looks like we are right about here, and we've got all this to go before the peak of hurricane season. So for all the people thinking that we've gotten off easy, this is a La Nina year, which means a lot of hurricanes, and the eastern Pacific is starting to die down. The big problem we've had so far has been this dry air, the Saharan air layer, or the SAL, and it is a problem pretty much every hurricane season. But trust me, once this moisture gets pumping off Africa, we're not going to be talking about the SAL, we're going to be talking about hurricanes, big time. Now here's the computer model ensembles for the European. You can see our system here. It starts to pull something out of the Caribbean in the next say 100, 200, 300 hours. It's long term, but you can see coming off Africa, that's the European model. And a little bit more troubling is the GFS model. And the GFS model shows a system moving off Africa and really taking a long track towards the southeastern U.S. And it could be a problem. Now again, remember, this is a long-range model. You're talking, right now it's August 19th, August 20th. This would literally be 10, 12, 13 days away. But all of these little ensemble models are showing that we could have a system coming out of the Caribbean towards the Gulf. We could have a system coming off Africa towards the southeast coast. We are going to have to keep a close eye. Trust me. Want to see something even more troubling? This was the 12Z GFS model, and look at what it brings in the long range, a monster hurricane, boom, right towards the Bahamas. Now, this has to be taken with a grain of salt. This was the GFS model earlier on Friday. And again, with that would probably be a track, something like that, and then getting pushed back with a rebuilding ridge. That would not be good news. I'm not showing that to be alarmist. I'm showing it to give you an idea that these models are starting to come to life. And when we look at Africa right now, there is a big tropical wave over Africa. This sucker's going to be leaving in the next couple of days, and we're going to watch it very carefully, because right now, as these waves move off, here's one there, one there, one there, that is where most of our hurricanes will come from. So that'll do it right now for the tropics. I just wanted to let you know that our system here is expected to become a tropical storm. We have tropical storm warnings out from areas of Port Mansfield all the way down to the mouth of the Rio Grande, and then for northern Mexico. And then we also have a wave leaving Africa and long-range models indicating things are about to turn on in the Atlantic. I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on the tropics. I'll talk to you next time as we continue to head towards late August and more hurricane season.